Discover balut and traditional Filipino dishes. Balut is a traditional delicacy in the Philippines that is enjoyed by many locals and tourists alike. It is a fertilized duck egg that has been boiled and eaten directly from the shell. Balut is often considered a snack or a street food and is commonly sold by vendors in the evening. The preparation of balut begins with fertilized duck eggs that have been incubated for about 2 weeks. During this time, the embryo inside the egg begins to develop. The eggs are then boiled for about 20 minutes until the embryo is fully cooked. The shell is then cracked open and the contents are eaten, often with a sprinkle of salt or vinegar. The taste and texture of balut can be quite unique and challenging for those who are not familiar with it. The yolk has a rich and creamy texture, while the white is slightly rubbery. The embryo itself has a slightly crunchy texture and a flavor that is similar to chicken. Balut is often enjoyed as a snack or as a meal on its own. It is also commonly served as a side dish or as an appetizer. Some people prefer to dip the contents of the egg in vinegar or spicy sauce to add some extra flavor. The popularity of balut has spread beyond the Philippines, and it can now be found in many other countries in Southeast Asia, as well as in some Filipino communities around the world. In recent years, balut has gained attention in the Western world, with some adventurous eaters trying it out as a challenge. Despite its popularity, balut has also been a subject of controversy due to ethical concerns regarding the treatment of the duck embryos. However, many Filipinos continue to enjoy balut as a traditional delicacy and a part of their cultural heritage. Balut is a unique and traditional delicacy in the Philippines that has gained popularity around the world. While the taste and texture may be challenging for some, it is a beloved and iconic dish that is enjoyed by many Filipinos. If you ever have the opportunity to try balut, be sure to give it a taste and experience a part of the rich culinary heritage of the Philippines. The cuisine of the Philippines is a delicious blend of indigenous, Malay, Chinese, Spanish, and American influences. In this article, we will explore 4 popular Philippine dishes: adobo, sinigang, lumpia, and halo-halo. Adobo. Adobo is a popular dish in the Philippines that is made with meat, usually chicken or pork, that has been marinated in a mixture of soy sauce, vinegar, garlic, and bay leaves, and then braised until tender. Adobo can be served with rice or as a filling for sandwiches or tacos. Here's how to make it. Ingredients: 2 pounds chicken or pork, cut into pieces. Half cup soy sauce. Half cup vinegar. 1 cup water. 6 cloves garlic, minced. 2 bay leaves. Salt and pepper to taste. 2 tablespoons oil. Instructions. In a large bowl, mix together the soy sauce, vinegar, water, garlic, bay leaves, salt, and pepper. Add the chicken or pork to the bowl and toss to coat. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap and marinate in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes, or up to overnight. Heat the oil in a large pot over medium-high heat. Add the marinated meat and cook until browned on all sides. Add the remaining marinade to the pot and bring to a boil. Reduce heat to low, Cover the pot, and simmer for about 45 minutes, or until the meat is tender and cooked through. Serve hot with rice or as a filling for sandwiches or tacos. Sinigang. Sinigang is a sour and savory soup that is a staple in Philippine cuisine. It is made with meat, usually pork or beef, vegetables, such as bok choy or radish, and a souring agent, such as tamarind or calamansi. Sinigang is often served with rice or eaten as a main dish. Here's how to make it. Ingredients: 2 pounds pork or beef, cut into cubes. 1 onion, chopped. 2 cloves garlic, minced. 2 tomatoes, chopped. 2 tablespoons oil. 8 cups water. 1 packet sinigang mix, available at most Asian grocery stores. 2 cups chopped vegetables, bok choy, radish, eggplant, or okra. Salt and pepper to taste. Instructions: in a large pot, heat the oil over medium-high heat. Add the onion and garlic, and sauté until soft and fragrant. Add the meat and brown on all sides. Add the chopped tomatoes and cook until softened. Add the water and sinigang mix, and stir well. Bring the soup to a boil and then reduce heat to low. Add the chopped vegetables and simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes, or until the vegetables are tender. Season with salt and pepper to taste. Serve hot with rice. Lumpia. Lumpia is a Filipino version of spring rolls. It is made with a thin wrapper filled with ground pork or chicken, vegetables, such as carrots, cabbage, and bean sprouts, and sometimes shrimp or tofu. Lumpia is often served as an appetizer or as a snack. Here's how to make it. Ingredients: 1 pound ground pork or chicken. 2 cups chopped vegetables, carrots, cabbage, bean sprouts. 1 onion, chopped. 3 cloves garlic, minced. 2 tablespoons oil. Lumpia wrappers, available at most Asian grocery stores. 1 egg, beaten. Oil for frying. Sweet chili sauce or vinegar for dipping. Instructions: in a large pan, heat the oil over medium-high heat. Add the onion and garlic, and sauté until soft and fragrant.
Learn about the Brazilian bolo de rolo. Bolo de rolo, a delightful Brazilian cake. Bolo de rolo is a traditional dessert from the northeast region of Brazil that is famous for its unique roll design and delicate texture. This delicious cake is made with thin layers of sponge cake that are rolled together with sweet guava paste, resulting in a beautiful swirl pattern. The history of bolo de rolo dates back to the 19th century when Portuguese nuns introduced the technique of rolling sponge cake with sweet fillings to Brazil. Over time, the recipe evolved to include guava paste, a popular ingredient in Brazilian cuisine. Making bolo de rolo is a labor-intensive process that requires patience and skill. The sponge cake batter is spread thinly over a baking sheet and baked for a short amount of time. The cake is then rolled while still warm, filled with guava paste, and rolled again until the desired thickness is achieved. The process is repeated until there are several layers of cake and filling, resulting in the signature spiral design. Bolo de rolo is often served during special occasions and celebrations, such as weddings and birthdays. It is also a popular souvenir for tourists visiting Brazil, with many shops and bakeries specializing in this unique cake. The taste and texture of bolo de rolo are what make it so special. The sponge cake layers are light and fluffy, while the guava paste adds a sweet and fruity flavor that complements the cake perfectly. The combination of textures, with the soft cake and slightly chewy filling, creates a delightful mouthfeel that is sure to please any dessert lover. In recent years, bolo de rolo has gained popularity beyond Brazil, with many pastry chefs and food enthusiasts around the world trying their hand at making this delicious cake. Variations of the recipe have also emerged, with some using different fillings, such as chocolate or coconut. In conclusion, bolo de rolo is a unique and delicious dessert that is a true representation of Brazilian cuisine. Its intricate design and delicate texture make it a favorite among locals and tourists alike. If you ever have the opportunity to try bolo de rolo, be sure to savor every bite and experience the rich culinary heritage of Brazil. Bolo de rolo, a cultural icon of Brazil. Bolo de rolo is not just a dessert in Brazil, it is a cultural icon. It reflects the history, traditions, and flavors of the northeast region of the country, where it originated. This cake has become so popular that it has even been recognized as a cultural heritage of the state of Pernambuco, where it is most commonly associated. The preparation of bolo de rolo is a complex process, but it is worth the effort. The cake batter is made with flour, sugar, eggs, and butter, and is flavored with a hint of lemon zest. The batter is then spread thinly on a baking sheet and baked for a few minutes until it is light brown. The cake is immediately rolled while still warm, with a layer of sweet guava paste, which is a staple fruit of the region. The process is repeated several times until the desired thickness is achieved, resulting in the spiral pattern that is characteristic of this cake. In Brazil, bolo de rolo is not just a dessert, it is a symbol of hospitality and generosity. It is often offered to guests as a way of welcoming them and making them feel at home. It is also served at special occasions, such as weddings, birthdays, and religious celebrations. Bolo de rolo has become so popular that it has inspired many variations of the recipe, including ones with different fillings such as chocolate, dulce de leche, and coconut. It has also been adapted into other forms, such as cupcakes and cake pops. The popularity of bolo de rolo has also spread beyond Brazil. It has become a favorite among foodies and pastry chefs around the world, who have tried their hand at making this delicate cake. Some have even added their own unique twists to the recipe, incorporating local ingredients and flavors. In conclusion, bolo de rolo is more than just a dessert, it is a cultural icon of Brazil. It is a reflection of the country's history, traditions, and flavors. Its unique design and delicate flavor make it a favorite among locals and tourists alike. If you ever have the opportunity to try bolo de rolo, be sure to savor every bite and experience the rich culinary heritage of Brazil. Here is a recipe for bolo de rolo. Ingredients: 5 eggs, ½ cup of sugar, ½ cup of flour, 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of lemon zest, 1 jar of guava paste. Instructions: preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 180 degrees Celsius. In a mixing bowl, beat the eggs and sugar together until they are light and fluffy. Add the flour, butter, baking powder, and lemon zest to the bowl and mix well. Grease a baking sheet and spread a thin layer of the batter onto it. Bake for 5 to 7 minutes or until golden brown. While the cake is still warm, spread a layer of guava paste on top of it. Roll the cake tightly and set it aside. Repeat the process until all the batter is used up and you have several layers of cake and guava paste rolled together. Let the cake cool completely before slicing and serving. Note: if you want to make your own guava paste, you can do so by cooking guava fruit with sugar until it thickens into a jelly-like consistency. Allow it to cool before using it as a filling for the cake. Enjoy your homemade bolo de rolo. Variations of bolo de rolo. While guava paste is a traditional filling for bolo de rolo, there are many variations of the recipe that incorporate different flavors and ingredients. Here are a few examples. Chocolate bolo de rolo. For a chocolate twist on this classic dessert, you can substitute the guava paste with a chocolate spread or a ganache made with melted chocolate and heavy cream. Coconut bolo de rolo. Another popular variation is to use shredded coconut instead of guava paste. You can mix sweetened shredded coconut with condensed milk and spread it over the cake layers. Dulce de leche bolo de rolo. This variation uses dulce de leche, a caramel-like sauce made from sweetened condensed milk, as the filling. To make it, simply spread a layer of dulce de leche over the cake layers. Gâteau basque, a typical Spanish dessert. Gâteau basque is a traditional dessert from the Basque region of Spain that is known for its buttery crust and sweet filling. This delicious cake is made with a flaky pastry dough that is filled with either cream, custard, or jam, and is often served as a dessert or snack. The history of Gâteau basque can be traced back to the 17th century, when it was first created by Basque farmers as a way to use up surplus butter and eggs. Over time, the recipe evolved to include different fillings, and it became a popular dessert throughout the region. Making gâteau basque is a labor-intensive process that requires patience and skill. The pastry dough is made with flour, sugar, egg yolks, and butter, and is chilled for several hours before it is rolled out and placed into a baking dish. The filling is then added, and another layer of pastry dough is placed on top. The cake is baked until golden brown, and is often dusted with powdered sugar before serving. Gâteau basque is often served as a dessert or snack in Spain, and is a popular item at bakeries and pastry shops throughout the country. It is also a favorite among tourists, who enjoy sampling the many variations of the recipe. The taste and texture of Gâteau basque are what make it so special. The flaky pastry dough is buttery and rich, while the filling adds a sweet and creamy flavor that complements the crust perfectly. The combination of textures, with a crisp crust and soft filling, creates a delightful mouthfeel that is sure to please any dessert lover. In recent years, Gâteau basque has gained popularity beyond Spain, with many pastry chefs and food enthusiasts around the world trying their hand at making this delicious cake. Variations of the recipe have also emerged, with some using different fillings, such as chocolate or fruit. Gâteau basque is a delicious and unique dessert that is a true representation of Spanish cuisine. Its buttery crust and sweet filling make it a favorite among locals and tourists alike. If you ever have the opportunity to try Gâteau Basque, be sure to savor every bite and experience the rich culinary heritage of Spain. While the traditional Gâteau Basque recipe uses a cream, custard, or jam filling, there are many variations of the recipe that incorporate different flavors and ingredients. Here are a few examples. Chocolate Gâteau Basque, for a chocolate twist on this classic dessert. You can substitute the traditional filling with a chocolate ganache, made with melted chocolate and heavy cream. Fruit Gâteau Basque, you can also experiment with different fruit fillings, such as raspberry, strawberry, or apricot. Simply puree the fruit, add sugar and cornstarch, and spread it over the pastry dough before adding the top layer of pastry. Almond Gâteau Basque, another popular variation is to add ground almonds to the pastry dough, giving it a nutty flavor and a slightly different texture. You can also add almond extract to the filling for an even stronger almond flavor. Savory Gâteau Basque, for a unique twist, you can use savory fillings such as ham and cheese, spinach and feta, or mushroom and leek. This variation is often served as an appetizer or as a savory snack. No matter what variation you choose, Gâteau Basque is a delicious and versatile dessert that can be enjoyed in many different ways. Serving and storing Gâteau Basque. Gâteau Basque is best served at room temperature or slightly warm. To serve, slice the cake into thin wedges and serve with a dollop of whipped cream or a scoop of ice cream. If you have leftovers, you can store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 3 days. You can also freeze the cake for up to 1 month. To thaw, simply let the cake sit at room temperature for a few hours before serving. Gâteau Basque is a delicate cake, so it's important to handle it with care when storing and transporting it. If you are transporting the cake, wrap it in plastic wrap or parchment paper and place it in a sturdy container to prevent it from getting crushed. Gâteau Basque is a delicious and unique dessert that is a cultural icon of Spain. Its buttery crust and sweet filling make it a favorite among locals and tourists alike. While the traditional recipe calls for a cream, custard, or jam filling, there are many variations of the recipe that incorporate different fillings and flavors. Whether you prefer the classic version or a new twist, Gâteau Basque is sure to satisfy your sweet tooth. Tips for making the perfect Gâteau Basque. Making Gâteau Basque can be a challenge, but with a little practice and some helpful tips, you can create a delicious and beautiful cake. Here are a few tips to help you make the perfect Gâteau Basque. Use cold ingredients. Make sure all of your ingredients are cold, especially the butter. This will help the pastry dough hold its shape and create a flaky crust. Chill the dough. After making the dough, chill it for at least an hour before rolling it out. This will help the dough firm up and make it easier to work with. Roll the dough evenly. When rolling out the dough, make sure it is even in thickness. This will help the cake bake evenly and prevent it from being too dense in some areas. Don't overfill the cake. Be careful not to overfill the cake, as this can cause it to overflow or become too soggy. Use just enough filling to cover the bottom layer of pastry dough, and leave a little room around the edges. Use a fork to create a decorative pattern. Before baking the cake, use a fork to create a decorative pattern on the top layer of pastry dough. This will not only make the cake look beautiful, but it will also help the pastry dough expand and prevent it from cracking. By following these tips, you can make a beautiful and delicious gâteau basque that will impress your guests and satisfy your sweet tooth. Here is a recipe for gâteau basque. Ingredients. For the pastry: 250 grams all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 150 grams unsalted butter, softened, 150 grams granulated sugar, 2 egg yolks, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, zest of 1 lemon, pinch of salt. For the filling: 500 milliliters milk, 4 egg yolks, 100 grams granulated sugar, 50 grams cornstarch, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, zest of 1 lemon, 1 tablespoon unsalted butter. Instructions. In a large mixing bowl, whisk together the flour, baking powder, and salt. Set aside. In another mixing bowl, cream the softened butter and sugar together until light and fluffy. Add the egg yolks, vanilla extract, and lemon zest to the butter mixture and mix well. Discover the traditional food of Botswana and how to make it. Botswana cuisine: sesa, pap, morocco, and vikoek. Botswana is a landlocked country in southern Africa with a rich and diverse culinary heritage. One of the most popular dishes in Botswana is sesa, a traditional meat dish that is often served with pap, a type of cornmeal porridge, and morocco, a leafy green vegetable. Another popular snack is vikoek, a sweet pastry filled with savory ingredients. In this article, we will explore these popular dishes in more detail. Sesa. Sesa is a popular meat dish in Botswana that is typically made with beef, although it can also be made with goat or lamb. The meat is slow cooked until it is tender and then shredded or pounded into a fine paste. This paste is then mixed with water and salt and cooked over low heat until it becomes a thick, porridge-like consistency. Sesa is often served with pap and morocco, and is a staple dish in many Botswana households. It is also commonly served at special occasions, such as weddings and funerals. Pap. Pap, also known as sadza or nashima in other parts of Africa, is a type of porridge made from ground cornmeal. It is similar to polenta or grits in texture and can be served either as a thick or thin porridge. Pap is a staple food in Botswana, and is often served with stews, soups, and meat dishes like sesa. It can also be served with a variety of side dishes, such as morocco and tomato relish. Morocco. Morocco is a type of leafy green vegetable that is native to southern Africa. It is similar in taste to spinach and is often cooked with onions, garlic, and tomatoes. It is a popular side dish and is often served with pap and sesa. Morocco is a rich source of vitamins and minerals, and is an important part of the Botswana diet. It is also used in traditional medicine to treat a variety of ailments. Vikoek. Vikoek is a type of sweet pastry that is fried until golden brown and then filled with savory ingredients, such as ground beef or cheese. It is similar to a donut or fried bread and is a popular snack food in Botswana. Vikoek is often served with a variety of fillings, such as curried mince or chakalaka, a spicy vegetable relish. It is a popular street food and is also served at markets and festivals throughout the country. Botswana cuisine is a rich and diverse blend of traditional African dishes and modern influences. Sesa, pap, morogo, and vikoek are just a few examples of the delicious and unique foods that can be found in Botswana. Whether you are a visitor to the country or a local resident, these dishes are sure to delight your taste buds and give you a true taste of Botswana's rich culinary heritage. Botswana beverages, chibuku and magwinya. In addition to its delicious cuisine, Botswana is also known for its unique and flavorful beverages. Chibuku and magwinya are two popular drinks that are enjoyed by locals and visitors alike. In this article, we will explore these popular beverages in more detail. Chibuku. Chibuku is a popular traditional beer in Botswana that is made from sorghum, a type of cereal grain. The beer is brewed using a traditional method that involves fermenting the sorghum in a large container for several days. The resulting liquid is then strained and served cold. Chibuku is often served in large, clay pots known as chibuku pots. These pots are shared among groups of people and are an important part of social gatherings and celebrations. Chibuku is known for its sour taste and is a popular drink among locals. Magwinya. Magwinya, also known as vikoek, is a traditional fried bread that is popular in Botswana. The bread is made from dough that is fried until it is golden brown and crispy. It is often served with a variety of fillings, such as beans, cheese, or mince. Magwinya is a popular street food and can be found at markets and festivals throughout the country. It is often served with a cold drink, such as chibuku or a soft drink. Botswana's unique and flavorful beverages are an important part of the country's culinary culture. Chibuku, a traditional beer made from sorghum, and magwinya, a fried bread served with a variety of fillings, are just two examples of the delicious drinks that can be found in Botswana. Whether you are a local resident or a visitor to the country, these beverages are sure to delight your taste buds and give you a true taste of Botswana's rich culinary heritage. Chibuku. Making chibuku is a traditional process that requires a few days of preparation time. Here is a recipe for making chibuku at home. Ingredients: 2 cups sorghum flour, 6 cups warm water, ½ teaspoon active dry yeast. Instructions: mix the sorghum flour and warm water in a large bowl until well combined. Cover the bowl with a clean cloth and let it sit in a warm place for 2 to 3 days, stirring occasionally. After 2 to 3 days, the mixture will have fermented and the liquid will have separated from the solids. Carefully pour the liquid into a clean container, leaving the solids behind. Add the active dry yeast to the liquid and stir well. Cover the container with a clean cloth and let it sit in a warm place for another day or two, until the liquid has turned sour and bubbly. Serve the chibuku cold, either on its own or with a meal. Magwinya. Here is a recipe for making magwinya at home. Ingredients: 2 cups all-purpose flour, ½ teaspoon salt, 1 tablespoon sugar, ½ teaspoon active dry yeast, ½ cup warm water. Vegetable oil, for frying. Instructions: in a large mixing bowl, whisk together the flour, salt, and sugar. In a separate bowl, dissolve the active dry yeast in the warm water. Add the yeast mixture to the flour mixture and stir until a dough forms. Knead the dough for 5 to 10 minutes, until it is smooth and elastic. Cover the dough with a clean cloth and let it rise in a warm place for 1 to 2 hours, until it has doubled in size. Heat the vegetable oil in a large pot or deep fryer. Divide the dough into small portions and shape them into balls.
Discover the traditional cuisine of Algeria. Famous dishes and how to make. Algerian cuisine is a unique blend of Mediterranean and African flavors, with influences from French, Spanish, and Arabic cuisine. Algerian cuisine is known for its rich and flavorful dishes, including couscous, chouchouka, merguez, and borek. In this article, we will explore these dishes in more detail. Couscous. Couscous is a staple dish in Algeria and is similar to the couscous served in Tunisia. It is made from semolina wheat and is typically served with meat and vegetables. In Algeria, couscous is often served on special occasions, such as weddings and religious celebrations. To make couscous, the semolina is steamed in a couscousier, a special pot with a steaming basket on top. The meat and vegetables are cooked separately and then added to the couscous before serving. Couscous can be flavored with a variety of spices, such as cumin, coriander, and saffron, to enhance its flavor. Chouchouka. Chouchouka is a traditional Algerian dish that is made with shredded bread and meat. The bread is typically a type of flat bread known as cobs, which is shredded and then soaked in a tomato-based sauce. The meat can be beef, lamb, or chicken, and is cooked with a variety of vegetables, such as onions, peppers, and carrots. To make chouchouka, the shredded bread is soaked in the tomato sauce until it becomes soft. The meat and vegetables are then added to the mixture and cooked until tender. Chouchouka is typically served with a side of harissa, a hot chili paste that adds a spicy kick to the dish. Merguez. Merguez is a type of sausage that is popular in Algeria. It is made from ground lamb or beef and is flavored with a variety of spices, such as cumin, coriander, and chili powder. Merguez is often grilled or pan-fried and is served with bread or couscous. Borek. Borek is a pastry that is filled with a mixture of cheese and vegetables. The pastry is typically made from phyllo dough and is layered with the cheese and vegetable mixture before being folded and baked in the oven. To make borek, the cheese and vegetable mixture is prepared and then placed on the phyllo dough. The dough is then folded over the filling and baked until golden brown and crispy. Borek can be served as a snack or as a side dish with a main meal. Algerian cuisine is a rich and flavorful blend of Mediterranean and African flavors. Couscous, chouchouka, merguez, and borek are just a few examples of the delicious dishes that can be found in Algeria. Whether you are a local resident or a visitor to the country, these dishes are sure to delight your taste buds and give you a true taste of Algeria's rich culinary heritage. Algerian cuisine is known for its flavorful and diverse appetizers, which are often served as part of a meze-style meal. Zalouk, makouda, sfinge, and mekouia are just a few examples of the delicious appetizers that can be found in Algeria. In this article, we will explore these appetizers in more detail. Zalouk. Zalouk is a traditional Algerian appetizer that is made from roasted eggplant and tomatoes. The eggplant and tomatoes are mashed together and then flavored with garlic, cumin, and olive oil. Zaluk is typically served cold and is often enjoyed with bread or crackers. To make zaluk, roast 2 eggplants and 4 tomatoes in the oven until tender. Mash the eggplant and tomatoes together and add 2 cloves of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Mix well and season with salt and pepper to taste. Makouda. Makouda is a popular Algerian appetizer that is made from mashed potatoes and spices. The mashed potatoes are flavored with garlic, onions, cumin, and coriander, and are then formed into small patties and fried until crispy. To make makouda, boil 2 pounds of potatoes until tender. Mash the potatoes and add 1 chopped onion, 2 cloves of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of coriander, and salt and pepper to taste. Form the mixture into small patties and fry in hot oil until golden brown and crispy. Sfinge. Sfinge is a traditional Algerian pastry that is similar to a donut. The pastry is made from a simple dough that is fried until golden brown and crispy. Sfinge can be served plain or with a variety of sweet or savory toppings. To make sfinge, mix together 3 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of yeast, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Add enough warm water to form a soft dough and knead for 5 to 10 minutes. Cover the dough and let it rise for 1 hour. Heat a pot of oil and drop spoonfuls of the dough into the hot oil. Fry until golden brown and crispy. Mekouia. Mekouia is a traditional Algerian salad that is made from roasted peppers and tomatoes. The peppers and tomatoes are chopped and then mixed with garlic, olive oil, and spices. Mekouia is typically served cold and is often enjoyed as a side dish with grilled meats. To make mekouia, roast 4 red peppers and 4 tomatoes in the oven until tender. Chop the peppers and tomatoes and mix them with 2 cloves of minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and salt and pepper to taste. Algerian cuisine is a rich and diverse blend of flavors and textures. Zaluk, makouda, sfinge, and mekouia are just a few examples of the delicious appetizers that can be found in Algeria. Whether you are a local resident or a visitor to the country, these appetizers are sure to delight your taste buds and give you a true taste of Algeria's rich culinary heritage. Algerian cuisine is renowned for its delicious and unique desserts, which are often made with nuts, honey, and spices. Baklava, makroud, selou, and zlabia are just a few examples of the mouth-watering desserts that can be found in Algeria. In this article, we will explore these desserts in more detail.
Learn about pakski, a typical Polish dessert. Pakski, pronounced punchki, is a traditional Polish dessert that is similar to a donut. This sweet pastry is typically consumed on Fat Thursday, which is the last Thursday before Lent, and is a popular treat in Poland and other parts of the world. Pakski are typically made from a rich dough that is filled with sweet jam or custard before being deep-fried until golden brown and crispy. The pastry is then covered in powdered sugar or glazed with a sweet icing to add an extra layer of sweetness. The history of pakski dates back to the Middle Ages, when Polish bakers would prepare these pastries to use up their supplies of sugar, butter, and eggs before the fasting period of Lent began. Today, pakski are enjoyed by people of all ages and are a staple dessert in many Polish households. To make paczki, the dough is prepared by mixing together flour, sugar, yeast, butter, and eggs until a soft, sticky dough is formed. The dough is then left to rise for several hours until it has doubled in size. Once the dough has risen, small balls are formed and each ball is filled with a sweet jam or custard filling of your choice. The filled dough balls are then fried in hot oil until golden brown and crispy on the outside. Once the paczki are done, they are sprinkled with powdered sugar or glazed with a sweet icing before serving. Paczki come in a variety of flavors, including raspberry, strawberry, blueberry, plum, and custard. In recent years, bakers have also experimented with new flavors, such as Nutella, peanut butter, and even savory fillings, such as cheese or meat. In Poland, paczki are typically served with a cup of coffee or tea and are enjoyed as a midday snack or dessert. In the United States, paczki have become a popular treat in cities with large Polish populations, such as Chicago and Detroit, where bakeries and cafes sell these sweet pastries in the days leading up to Fat Thursday. In conclusion, paczki are a unique and delicious Polish dessert that has gained popularity around the world. Whether you enjoy them with a sweet jam or custard filling, or prefer to try a new flavor, paczki are sure to satisfy your sweet tooth and give you a taste of Poland's rich culinary heritage. Paczki are not only a delicious dessert, but they also hold a special place in Polish culture. In addition to being a popular treat during Fat Thursday, paczki are also consumed on other special occasions, such as weddings and birthdays. In some regions of Poland, paczki are also associated with a popular folk tradition known as Tłusty Czwartek or Fat Thursday, which is a day of feasting and indulgence before the start of the Lenten season. On this day, people consume large quantities of rich, fatty foods, including paczki, as a way of preparing for the period of fasting that comes with Lent. Paczki have also become a popular symbol of Polish culture and heritage, and are often featured in Polish festivals and celebrations around the world. In the United States, for example, the city of Hamtramck, Michigan, holds an annual Paczki Day celebration, which includes a parade, live music, and of course, plenty of paczki to go around. In recent years, paczki have also gained popularity in other parts of the world, including Australia, Canada, and the United Kingdom. In these countries, paczki are often sold in Polish delis and bakeries, and are enjoyed by people of all backgrounds and cultures. Paczki are a unique and delicious dessert that hold a special place in Polish culture and heritage. Whether you enjoy them on Fat Thursday or any other day of the year, paczki are sure to satisfy your sweet tooth and give you a taste of Poland's rich culinary traditions. Paczki have also been the subject of various debates and discussions within the culinary world. Some people argue that paczki are simply a type of donut, while others insist that they are a distinct and unique dessert in their own right. One of the key differences between paczki and donuts is the dough used to make them. Paczki dough is typically richer and denser than donut dough, and is made with ingredients such as eggs, butter, and cream. This gives paczki a more substantial texture and a richer flavor. Another difference is the filling. While some donuts may be filled with jelly or cream, paczki are always filled with a sweet jam or custard filling. This filling is an integral part of the paczki experience, and adds an extra layer of sweetness and flavor to the pastry. Despite these differences, paczki and donuts are often compared and contrasted, with each having its own distinct fan base. Some people prefer the lighter, airier texture of donuts, while others enjoy the rich, substantial texture of paczki. In recent years, paczki have also become the subject of various food trends and challenges on social media. For example, the Paczki Day Challenge involves eating as many paczki as possible in a single day, while the Paczki Burger Challenge involves creating a burger that uses paczki as the bun. Paczki are a unique and delicious dessert that have sparked debates and discussions within the culinary world. Whether you consider them to be a type of donut or a distinct dessert in their own right, there's no denying the popularity and appeal of these sweet pastries. So why not give them a try and see what all the fuss is about? Paczki are a traditional polished dessert that are similar to donuts, but richer and denser in texture. They are typically filled with sweet jam or custard and are fried until golden brown and crispy on the outside. Here's a recipe to make homemade paczki. Ingredients: 3 cups all-purpose flour, ½ cup granulated sugar, 2 1/4 teaspoons active dry yeast, ½ a teaspoon salt, ½ cup unsalted butter, melted and cooled, 3 large egg yolks, ½ cup whole milk, warmed, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Vegetable oil, for frying. Powdered sugar, for dusting. For the filling: 1 cup fruit jam or custard filling of your choice. Instructions: in a large mixing bowl, combine the flour, sugar, yeast, and salt. Mix well. Add the melted butter, egg yolks, warm milk, and vanilla extract to the dry mixture. Mix until a dough forms. Knead the dough for 5 to 7 minutes until it's smooth and elastic. Place the dough in a greased bowl, cover with a towel, and let it rise for 1 to 2 hours or until it has doubled in size. Once the dough has risen, punch it down and roll it out on a floured surface until it's ½ inch thick. Use a round cookie cutter or glass to cut out circles of dough. Spoon a teaspoon of jam or custard filling onto the center of each dough circle. Fold the dough over the filling and pinch the edges to seal. Cakesicle, dessert is becoming trending in America. Cakesicles are a new dessert trend that's taking America by storm. These bite-sized treats are a cross between a cake pop and an ice cream bar, and are a fun and creative way to enjoy cake in a new and exciting format. Cakesicles are made by molding cake batter into the shape of a popsicle, and then coating the cake with chocolate or candy melts. The result is a cake on a stick that's easy to eat and perfect for sharing. Cakesicles come in a variety of flavors, including chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. They can also be customized with different fillings and toppings, such as sprinkles, nuts, or fruit. The cakesicle trend first started gaining popularity on social media, with influencers and bakers sharing their creative and colorful creations online. Since then, cakesicles have become a popular dessert item at parties, weddings, and other special events. One of the reasons that cakesicles have become so popular is that they are versatile and easy to make. With just a few ingredients and some basic kitchen equipment, you can make your own cakesicles at home. Here's a simple recipe to get you started. Ingredients: 1 box cake mix, any flavor, 1 cup frosting, Candy melts or chocolate chips. Popsicle sticks. Toppings of your choice, optional instructions. Bake the cake according to the instructions on the box. Let it cool completely. Crumble the cake into a large mixing bowl. Add the frosting to the cake crumbles and mix until well combined. Roll the mixture into balls and shape them into popsicle shapes. Insert a popsicle stick into each cake popsicle and freeze for 30 minutes. Melt the candy melts or chocolate chips in a microwave-safe bowl, stirring every 30 seconds until fully melted. Dip each cake popsicle into the melted candy or chocolate, making sure to coat it evenly. Add toppings of your choice, if desired. Place the cakesicles on a parchment-lined baking sheet and freeze until the candy or chocolate has hardened. Cakesicles are a fun and creative dessert trend that's taking America by storm. Whether you enjoy them at a party or make them at home, cakesicles are a versatile and delicious way to enjoy cake in a new and exciting format. So why not give them a try and see what all the fuss is about? Cakesicles are not only a fun and creative way to enjoy cake, but they are also a visually appealing dessert that can be customized to fit any occasion. They make a great addition to any dessert table, and are sure to impress your guests with their unique shape and delicious flavor. One of the great things about cakesicles is that they can be easily customized to fit different themes and occasions. For example, you can decorate them with red, white, and blue sprinkles for a 4th of July party, or use pastel colors for a baby shower. Cakesicles are also a great activity to do with kids. Kids love helping to decorate and customize the cakesicles, and it's a fun way for them to get involved in the kitchen. In addition to being a fun and creative dessert, cakesicles are also a great alternative to traditional cake for people who prefer smaller portions. Instead of having a large slice of cake, you can enjoy a small cakesicle that's just the right size for a sweet treat. Another great thing about cakesicles is that they can be made ahead of time and stored in the freezer for later use. This makes them a convenient dessert option for busy days or last-minute entertaining. In recent years, cakesicles have also become a popular dessert item at weddings. They are a fun and unique way to serve cake to guests, and can be customized to fit the wedding theme or color scheme. When it comes to making cakesicles, there are a few tips and tricks that can help you achieve the perfect results. Here are some things to keep in mind. Use a good quality cake mix and frosting. The flavor of the cake and frosting will greatly affect the taste of the cakesicles, so it's important to use high-quality ingredients. Make sure the cake is completely cooled before crumbling it into the mixing bowl. If the cake is still warm, it can make the frosting melt and create a sticky mess. Use a popsicle mold or silicone mold to shape the cakesicles. This will help you achieve a uniform shape and size. Make sure to freeze the cakesicles for at least 30 minutes before dipping them in melted chocolate or candy melts. This will help the cakesicles hold their shape and prevent them from falling off the sticks. When dipping the cakesicles in melted chocolate or candy melts, use a spoon or spatula to coat them evenly. You can also tap the sticks gently on the side of the bowl to remove any excess chocolate. Add toppings or decorations while the chocolate is still wet. This will help them stick to the cakesicles and create a more visually appealing dessert. Store the cakesicles in an airtight container in the freezer until ready to serve. They will last for several weeks if stored properly. Overall, cakesicles are a fun and creative dessert that can be customized to fit any occasion or taste preference. With a little practice and these tips in mind, you can create your own delicious and visually appealing cakesicles that will surely impress your friends and family. Cakesicles have also become a popular dessert item for businesses, especially for those in the baking and confectionery industry. Bakeries and cafes across the country have started to offer cakesicles as part of their menu, with some even specializing in this unique dessert. Cakesicle businesses have emerged as a result of the increasing popularity of this dessert trend. Many of these businesses offer a wide range of flavors and designs, catering to different tastes and preferences. Some even offer custom cakesicles, where customers can specify their preferred flavors, toppings, and decorations.